Hi, everyone, and welcome to Map2Self, where everyday heroines gather to listen, learn, and share. I'm your host, Vanessa Scotto, and I'm so excited to be here today with you on the Road Less Traveled. On the Road Less Traveled, women share stories about breaking through convention and overcoming obstacles to lead amazing lives that are true to who they really are. If you're tuning in for the first time, remember you can listen to any of the past episodes in the archives. Also, please friend us at Map2Self on Facebook so you can participate in this wonderful community and get information about upcoming events. Today's show is titled The Yoga of Eating, and we're going to say a lot more about what that means, but simply put, it's about becoming aware of the choices we make every time we eat to find out what truly feeds you. And part of my joy in understanding this approach is that it's not a model built on abstinence or suffering for the sake of looking good in your jeans. Instead, it's about understanding your relationship to food and learning to tune into your body to know what you're needing in every moment. And sometimes that actually includes treats, so that's part of the beauty. Before I introduce my guest, I want to read a quote to set the stage on how deeply significant this conversation on how and what we eat can be. This quote is from the book Women, Food, and God by Janine Roth, which I highly recommend. She says, "Our relationship to food is an exact microcosm of our relationship to life itself. I believe we are walking, talking expressions of our deepest convictions. Everything we believe about love, fear, transformation, and God is revealed in how, when, and what we eat. When we inhale Reese's peanut butter cups when we're not hungry, we're acting out an entire world of hope or hopelessness, faith or doubt, love or fear. If we're interested in finding out what we believe, not what we think, not what we say, but what our souls are convinced is the bottom line truth about life and afterlife, we need go no further than the food on our plates." It's a pretty powerful statement, but I have to say, after all of my years of Chinese medicine, of studying therapy, and of working with my life coaching clients, I have seen that the ways that we engage with some of our daily activities like eating, exercise, sex, cleaning, are reflections of some of our deepest beliefs. Our guest today, Dreama Lindy, another friend of mine who I've known for over 15 years, integrated her spiritual ideology, her yoga practice, and her nutritional training in conceptualizing this idea of the yoga of eating. As I said, I've known Dreama forever, so I am aware that, in part, it's her own historical struggles with food, as well as her vast experience with clients, that informs her understanding of the ways in which we can all disconnect, overindulge, or deny ourselves real nourishment through food. You can find out more about Dreama's credentials on the episode page, but as I said, she's been a yoga teacher for at least 15 years, a nutritionist, and she's just honestly an amazing and funny woman. I love her so much. Please help me in welcoming Dreama to the air. Hi, Dreama. Welcome to Map2Self.
Hi. Thank you for having me. That was so nice for you to say how happy you are to have me on here. It really made me smile and feel nice inside, so thanks.
Oh, well, I really am. I love doing these shows, and I love talking to amazing women, and everyone's here volunteering for free, so I think it's such a gift to offer others. And I just want to say to you, Dreama, and to everybody listening, I was having a little technical difficulties this morning, so if I disappear, have no fear, I'm going to call back in. So, Dreama, I know that you and I have spoken about this a little bit, but in your own words, would you be willing to share with our listeners how you conceptualize this idea of the yoga of eating?
Sure. I think when I think of yoga of eating, it creates this idea of what we talk about as yoga instructors, just having some balance and a true relationship to what's going on in the present moment. So as with any yoga practice, there's this concept of being in union or to yoke with. Mm-hmm. So when we think of yoga of eating, we think of being present with what's happening for you not only that day but in that moment. So while you're making a choice, because we are making a choice, even when we have the idea of there was no choice for me today, I had to pick, something out of a vending machine. There was a choice. Sometime during the day, there was a choice. And if you don't, as cliche as this is, if you don't make a plan, then somehow you have made a plan not to succeed with what you want. Mm. So if you're looking to have a healthier way in your body, and that all depends what you define that as. So for some of us, we do have weight goals, and for others, it has nothing to do with a weight goal at all. It has to do with how we're feeling in our digestion or our energy level. Mm-hmm. So depending on what it is that your concept of what I want means, you make choices. And so on that moment that or that morning that you left the house without preparing for your breakfast or lunch, and then you had to pick something out of a vending machine, you did make a choice. You chose to, let's say, do something other than prepare for your food. Mm. So with regard to that, you didn't choose you in that moment. You chose maybe to, take some extra time to sleep in a little bit, or you chose to pick something else to wear and had to change. We do make these choices.
Right, so in a sense, you're just not prioritizing whatever it is in terms of your health and eating goals.
Yes, and I do think that it needs to be something that is on your priority. So just like in yoga, there are these times when, let's say, we're beginning a practice, you seem to be more disciplined. So there's a period of time where you might have to make a list. You might have to plan out in the earlier week what your food is going to look like for that whole week. And over time, you don't have to do that anymore. You could, let's say, instead of making a list before you went shopping, you can stand in your first aisle and decide there what you're going to eat for the week. But there needs to be some type of planning so that you never find yourself making a quick decision and picking something out of a vending machine. There needs to be some kind of a plan, whether it is making a list before you left for that week, or it is in the grocery aisle deciding what plan I need for a few days. There needs to be some type of planning as a way to create an environment for you that you never feel that you're neglected. You always feel that you're prepared. And it can change and you can be spontaneous because you may have made a plan, but then on Tuesday you wake up and you think, well, I'm kind of feeling like some soup today. So it can change, but there needs to be enough food and nourishment for you to access in order for you to provide yourself with this resource at any given time so that you're never on a quick decision making. You're always prepared.